We're picking up the narration at line 74 of Book 4, Virgil's Aeneid. We just finished the passage with the simile of the hunter who has let loose an arrow accidentally. It has struck its target, and this is what Dido is compared with, as one who has been collateral damage to a larger hunt, it seems. So here we are, line 74. Aeneas here, Aenean, is our direct object, and so who is the subject of ducat here? It is Dido. So Dido now is spending her afternoon guiding Aeneas Permoinia with her through her walls. She's giving him the special royal guided tour of her city. She also ostentats various things in the entire urbem that has been pratamd. This is where the people around Dido now can tell something is not quite right in this line. She incipits effari. This is a deponent infinitive. As she does this, in media voca restirit. She can't even get a straight word out edgewise. She's so overwhelmed with how she feels. Nunc and nunc that we will see here are giving us some narration about the things that are happening in the day. Now, once again, she quaerits the eadem convivia, as she had the night before. And she does it when? With the labentadie. Make sure you know what that ablative absolute says. And again, she exposcit. She demands to hear the Trojan works again. However, what is the adjective that is now used to describe her? Daymates. This is rather powerful. Think about how that fits with your reading and understanding of Book 4 thus far, within these 80 lines or so. Be prepared to share some of your thoughts about that in class. Okay, so she demands to hear everything she just heard the night before all over again, and she pendets iterum. Where does she do this? She hangs, again from the mouth, narantis. So this is a present active participle of the one telling, understand the story. So you could take that in good English as, again, from the mouth of the narrator, of the storyteller, of him speaking. Something like that would work just fine. So the banquet has ended. And after that's happened, this should be a digressi sunt from the deponent verb. After they have all departed, it's nighttime. And you have two lovely images of how night arrives. And it is Wikisem in turn doing two things. Luna is your subject, Premet is your verb. Cadentia is describing sidera, and of the second clause it's the subject with swadent being the verb. And now how do we see Dido? We had seen this verb previously when Anna was almost to the point of accusing her of spending her life grieving away all of her youth. Now alone she myrets. She myrets, she mourns in her empty home. And in kubat is a verb which will take dative objects. Stratis relictis. What on earth is that referring to? Consider that. Now we arrive at illum absens, absentem, audivitque viditque. Ooh, absence, absentem. This is a lovely stylistic thing. Who is absent where? The first one we can interpret as describing Dido. So she being away from him. Illum here is Aeneas, with absentem describing that. So she being away from him, audits, videts. She is replaying that marvelous scene over and over again, trying to hold on to it, trying to preserve it in her memory as well as she can. She's also doing something else. She's reflecting, she dating it, she holds on to more of the idea and the memory of, rather than the boy himself, Ascanius, Gremio in her lap. She is the object of capta, pardon me, is modified by capta, and she's so struck by the likeness Ascanius holds to his father. Infandum si faller possit amorem. Almost as if it literally says, if she is able to beguile an unspeakable love. We have a lot of textual clues now that what seems to be happening to Dido with regard to Aeneas is not meant to be. In our final 4 lines of this passage, if you hadn't gotten the inference by now, our poet makes it explicitly clear. Even just glancing at this in the first line, you see known. Known. There are many things now which are not happening. And the use of the participle koitai really underlies and underscores that too, as does the meter of this line. Please listen to 86. Non coiptae ad surgunt turres, non arma juventus. It's very spondaic. Try to examine the meter in the remaining 4 lines. Pay attention to the things which are no longer happening. And what's the visual of the city at this point? And moreover, how does this image of Carthage compare or contrast with the first time you saw and heard the city being described? What foreshadowing are you prepared to offer at this point? Where will the plot turn next?